segment and or match, and then afterwards look. We're just discussing based on what your notes is like after whatever segment. Just look ahead for a second or so.
Yeah, you just talk about it and then change it. I can't remember what the problem was. It was that. It was just a lot of editing things because if you like.
I think the main thing is like maybe your thing is just like trying to plant ourselves so we're not just like all movement, just like one area or the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Sure. Let me know when you're ready.
Go for it.
Alright. Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome again to XWA Recap. This is for Christmas Chaos. So do you remember the order? I can.
Well, we can break
Sure.
one and write down the script so that we have it.
Sure. Hello fans, welcome to XWA Recap for Christmas Chaos. I'm Phil Gilbert, alongside with Jeff Graves. We'll be going through the event for those of you who have missed it. And we had for our opening match, Sonny Warcloud taking on the Canadian icon, Ryan Heath. Jeff, what did you think of this match?
Well, normally the Canadian icon would have been running circles around Warcloud, but he seems to be still suffering some ill effects from the head trauma received of that ogre, John Stryker, much to the delight of the troglodytes at ringside. He had himself reintroduced as Randall, and when he had the match well in hand, for some reason, tagged himself in like it was a tag match. You know what, Phil? I washed my hands of the whole thing. It's a tainted victory for Sonny Warcloud as far as I'm concerned.
I'll be honest with you, Jeff. There's just something about the condition about Ryan Heath that doesn't seem to add up. I know that's a little bit stating the obvious, but I think there's a little bit more to it than that. But regardless, Sonny Warcloud was the victor in this match.
This is the Zane Valentine bit.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Someone who was a victor at Christmas Chaos outside the ring and for now was Zane Valentine. Zane was able to obtain a urine sample. Actually, I want to start the.
No, you don't want to say it's
just a sample.
Yeah, just a sample.
You don't even obtain is implied.
Yeah.
He submitted.
He submitted. Okay.
Yeah, just go in order like with the videos.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And he submitted the urine sample.
And therefore he's
temporarily reinstated.
Yeah.
Pending the results of the.
But he will be at
And is scheduled to
be edited.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Someone who was a victor at Christmas Chaos outside the ring and for now was Zane Valentine. He was able to submit a urine sample to Nelson Hum and therefore had his suspension lifted and will be a part of our next show, XWA Addicted.
Finally, Nelson Hum is coming to his senses to let a guy like Zane Valentine back on the card. Let me ask you, Gilbert, you got your ticket?
Jeff, a wise man once said, and I hope I can do this justice, will you be serious?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's the wise man?
What's that?
Gorilla Monsoon used to say at the Heenan all the time, will you be serious?
Yeah. There'll probably be at least one fan that's like, I know he said that. That guy. Okay. Our next match was for the XWA Tag Team Championship between the Wave Riders defending their titles against Jack Spears and Eric O'Connell, Our next match was for the XWA Tag Team Championship between the defending champions, the Wave Riders, taking on Jack Spears and Eric O'Connell, collectively known as the Renegades. Jeff, you were telling me earlier that you took Jack and Eric aside to try to give them advice, some tips, in order what they could do to win the match and the championship.
I did, Gilbert. I told them what they got to do is they got to be focused. They got to just devoid themselves of any sort of emotion. They have to have ice water in their veins. Smiles and personality, that's for jerks like the Wave Riders.
Impressive showing by the Renegades, but it wasn't enough to win the gold.
Are you implying that they have no personality?
That's exactly it. Actually, cut out the bit. You want to do that again? You want to put that other bit at the end?
What?
Where they won't be asking me for...
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Our next match was for the XWA Tag Team Championship between the Wave Riders defending the gold against Jack Spears and Eric O'Connell, collectively known as the Renegades. Jeff, you were telling me earlier that you were giving the Renegades some tips on what they can do to win the championship.
That's right, Gilbert. I was telling them they need to be more focused. They have to have ice water in their veins. Personality and smiles, that's for jerks like the Wave Riders.
An impressive showing by the Renegades, but it wasn't enough to win the Tag Team Championship. And I'll have to say, Jeff, I don't think the Renegades or anyone else in the XWA will be coming to you for advice anytime soon.
Now, Gilbert, my advice was solid. It's not my fault that they couldn't distance themselves from the charisma that envelops them.
After the tag team title match, we saw the Frat come down to the ring, accompanied by... No. After the tag team title match, we saw the Frat come down to the ring. Our 2011 Roll the Dice winner, Joshua Kotsavasakis, got on the mic, explaining that he is tired of holding on to this case. He wants to take action into his own hands, to his own path to destiny. And he went through a little bit of a history lesson about Christmas chaos that he has been involved in, from stealing gifts to blindsiding people.
You say stealing and blindsided. I say making an impact and giving the fans exactly what they deserved.
After that, we saw John Stryker come down to the ring, offering his own little history lesson about his moments at Christmas Chaos, including the very memorable Santa Stryker.
I think you mean Striker Claus.
We'll have to take this with the case of tomato versus tomato. But anyway, Stryker challenged Kotsav to a match, and Kotsav did accept the challenge for Chip Chambers.
Can we do something about John Stryker picking on guys who are smaller than his left calf? This is the second month in a row he's destroyed some small guy. Can we get some legal action, maybe contact Amnesty International, or possibly talk to Nelson Hum?
Our next match had 4 people with scores that they needed to settle. Okay. Our next match had 4 people looking to settle some scores amongst each other. James Steele and Julius Fantana teamed up against Wesley Pipes and Johnny Versace. For a majority of the match, we saw Pipes and Versace isolating Fantana away from James Steele.
That's what you do with infections.
Isn't that the title of Dale Dangle's autobiography?
Hey, that's not funny. He's being treated for that.
Anyway, at one point in the match, we saw Wesley Pipes spit in the face of the valet of James Steele. Steele saw this and chased Pipes all the way to the back, leaving in the ring Versace and Fantana. Versace was able to pin the Elite Champion and gained a victory for his team.
You want to give me that lead out on team?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Yeah, because I messed up on that. I have to see that Versace got the win.
Do you want to just start from that from the beginning? Or?
No, just go with anyway we saw Pipes.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Yes. Anyway, we saw Pipes at one point spit in the face of the valet of James Steele. Steele saw this and chased Pipes. Anyway, we saw Pipes spit in the face of the valet of James Steele. Anyway, we saw Pipes spit in the face on the valet. Peter Piper picked a peck of black. Anyway, at one point in the match, we saw Pipes spit in the face of the valet of James Steele. Steele saw this and chased Pipes all the way to the back, leaving only in the ring Johnny Versace and Julius Fantana. Versace was able to pin the Elite Champion and gained a victory for his team.
I, for one, was happy to see Versace get the win, despite the uncouth ne'er-do-wells that fans constantly yelling at him. You know what, folks? He doesn't come down to where you work and tell you how to ask folks if they want fries with that.
You gotta push, do that one again, you gotta push, like, that's the main storyline.
Okay.
After you're done with the fries with that, then
You want me to
you
just...
gotta say something along the lines of, you know,
It's not over.
we gotta,
This is just the
where is
beginning.
this gonna develop, you know
Sure.
what I mean? There's only one way to find it. You know, in January, where's this gonna go, kind of thing.
You know, I for one was happy to see Versace get the win, despite the uncouth ne'er-do-wells at ringside constantly yelling. People, he doesn't come down to where you work and tell you how to ask folks if they want fries with that. I tell you, Gilbert, I don't think this is the end of this by any means. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this is just the beginning between these two.
Yes. Attempt at a conclusion was just another chapter in this saga. Our next match was a flag match between General Deuce and Shahir Razul. Now, the object of this match was for a competitor to grab their country's flag from on top of a pole.
16 feet high.
Okay, thank you. I was trying
That's how tall the pole actually
That's
was.
top of 16, thank you.
It was so fucking high on one side that Deuce couldn't reach it.
Yeah. Well, we actually are making kind of a
Yeah.
bit
Well, I
of
thought about doing that, but if we say something along the lines about how Sheik may have had something to do with that,
No,
I don't want to do that because that just takes away from Shahir's victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So we don't want to make it seem like he cheated in that at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He legitimately beat him.
Yeah.
Our next match was a flag match between General Deuce and Shahir Razul. Now, the object of this match was for a competitor to grab their country's flag from on top of a 16-foot pole. Now, Jeff, I did notice one thing just before the match, that these poles and the flags, that one flag was higher than another.
Oh, there you go again with your conspiracies, Gilbert. Look, I was out there personally before the match to measure those poles, and I'll tell you, they were at even heights. Don't whine and cry just because your boy, General Cheaterly, couldn't get the job done even after he tied the Sheik to the ring post.
Well, taking the Sheik away from this equation of the match left it just to be a one-on-one match, which it's supposed to be. But that being said, Shahir Razul was the victor in the match. And I can only imagine... Actually, I want to do...
Okay. Where do you want to take that from?
Why don't you just do one more time of just like your conspiracies?
Okay. There you go again, Gilbert, with your conspiracies. I was out there personally measuring those flagpoles before the match, and I'll tell you, they were at even heights. Don't complain just because your boy, General Cheating, couldn't get his job done without even... Don't complain just because General Cheating couldn't get the job done even after he tied the Sheik to the ring post.
Having the Sheik out of the equation was a way to make this an intended one-on-one match. But regardless, Razul was the winner, and I can only imagine what brand of terror that he and the Sheik will unleash in the XWA in 2012. Let me know when you're ready.
Did we touch on all the videos? We just had 2 Zane videos.
Yeah, I just summed it up in just one thing. It's just like
Is that all we had though?
We had the Zane videos, but we had that 15-minute
Yeah.
video with
after
pipes
that.
and yeah.
yeah.
So it was just the one Zane video.
Followed by a fucking 45-minute match.
Yeah,
Wait till that's
it was
off.
a little long in the tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait till that's off so none of my stuff goes on the record.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. And in our main event, we we saw the XWA Heavyweight Championship on the line. Dazzling Dick Durning defending the title against K.I. Real. We saw last month K.I. Real blindsiding Dazzling Dick Durning, and we saw before Christmas Chaos, while Dazzling Dick Durning was being interviewed by JD, he was again blindsided by Curtis Isaac Real, damaging Dazzling Dick Durning's left knee.
Look, Curtis Isaac Real.
Yeah, I want to do that again.
You can mention about how
He's going in with a bad left
timeline,
knee. Yeah.
how he was jumped last month, and then
Again,
when Dazzling Dick Durning arrived at the
Before the show, he was being interviewed, he was attacked, damaged
Dazzling
left.
Dick Durning arrived at the venue.
Mhm.
Carriel attacked him from behind.
Yeah.
And
Just again focusing that.
trying to shatter his
Yeah.
trying to shatter his knee.
Tibia.
His patella.
Your femur.
And in our main event, Dazzling Dick Durning defended the XWA Heavyweight Championship against K.I. Real. We saw at the end of Revenge, Dazzling Dick Durning being blindsided by K.I. Real. And we saw before Christmas Chaos, while Dazzling Dick Durning was being interviewed by JD, And in our main event, we saw Dazzling Dick Durning defend his XWA Heavyweight Championship against K.I. Real. At the end of Revenge, we saw K.I. Real blindsiding Dazzling Dick Durning, and even just before Christmas Chaos, Dazzling Dick Durning was being interviewed by JD, and during that interview, K.I. Real again attacked Dazzling Dick Durning, damaging his left knee.
Look, Curtis Isaac Real was only doing what needed to be done. Again, you say blindsided, I say making an impact.
Even with a bad left knee going in, Dazzling Dick Durning Dazzling Dick Durning fought intensely to intently retain his championship. And we saw at the end of the match, what?
He fought intensely and intently.
And intently, okay.
Yeah, not...
Okay.
Okay. No, just the way you said it sounded really funny.
Even with a bad left knee going in, Dazzling Dick Durning fought intensely and intently to retain his XWA Heavyweight Championship. At the end of the match, we saw Dale Dangles and Chip Chambers from the Frat attack Dazzling Dick Durning, allowing Joshua Kotsavasakis attempt to cash in his roll the dice briefcase. But Dazzling Dick Durning fought, held his own, and even though Josh did not cash in, he certainly left a message to the XWA champion.
Chip Chambers, I tell you, couldn't catch a break. Unless you count his back. I hear he's hoping that he'll be able to still spin around the pole while in traction.
And I just want to ask you, is there any matches for next month that you want us to announce?
I don't know if Jeff talked to you, but he pitched me an idea today.
I don't know what the fuck is text. I text Piper what we have so far. There we go. Alright, me and Barstool, Zane and Al Hansen.
Okay. So it's you and Barstool and Zane and who?
Al Hansen. Just mention about Zane and how.
We even wrote a thing just indicate with Zane.
I suppose he's going to do that thing.
He can keep himself under control.
Yeah.
We'll find out the results of his
Test. The results of his tests.
wellness policies.
Is there
His
anyone that
results of his test in regards to the XWA wellness policy.
it's kind of a little bit just like with Nick Picky, so are there any particular wrestlers you want to mention, like Julius Fantanas?
No, he's not wrestling. Versace and Steel.
Okay.
We don't know who Dick's working yet.
He pitched me an idea, but if you go with it, we can't pitch it on. You can't put it on here. He wants to do it at the beginning of the show. It was him, and he wanted to do a job with War Cloud, where he extends a shot because he beat you at the last show, and then Code 7 they would attack him at the first, and then also at the end of the show too, when they did the match after they were done.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good idea because I think they'll have a great match. It'll be solid and it'll lead to the
Easier way to just to make it a face-face match. If you
Yeah,
want to
Yeah.
get the briefcase.
because the end result is what's the most important thing, and the most important thing is the
the frat crazy heat.
Yeah.
yeah. Because you kind of have to do something with Sonny because he really, everybody's like, man, you fucking job at work, lad.
No, you guys been around like with the company long enough that it doesn't matter for you guys. Like
I don't lose any face. I can just come right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strikers are fucking call me every day.
Yeah.
His ideas. He pretty much.
I keep
this
telling-
idea about ripping off the Rey Mysterio Batista storyline. He's like, do you remember Rey Mysterio?
Again?
Batista? I was like, oh my
Wait, he
God.
picks
wants
that again
more
for the
than
second year in a row.
Him and Fantana, yeah. I don't.
I thought we
It was a little different this time.
Still.
we gave that to him last year. He
Yeah.
figured. Oh well.
But anyway, Matt sent me something. I don't know. We're thinking about turning him heel. I just don't know if he's gonna work as a heel.
Yeah.
He actually likes being John Striker. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's classic case that you see in wrestling, man. Just
Where
like
he likes
live the
being-
gimmick.
He likes living the gimmick. Yeah.
I don't know how good of a heel he'll be.
Well, that's the thing. Like even when he was a
He
heel,
was never a heel.
it wasn't a good
He was
indicator
always
to begin with.
He was always just a guy who just came out in one match. He didn't have a personality.
I think he became a face. That was the thing. Like he just kept beating up people, and he got
People
cheers.
like-
Well, he was
Yeah.
originally supposed to be like a hired gun type
Or
thing, and then he turned face.
And it was a bully as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he'd make him to start talking,
Hmm.
do a bunch of pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. We should do like anyway. We're gonna might set something up with him and Nightmare.
Hmm. That would be good if
Clark's gonna
Clark's
come back. I want him to come back at the Rumble, but I don't know.
Well, how much do we have of the Rumble right now? That's the thing. Like how much? Like what have we booked like storyline wise for the Rumble and stuff?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I want to be at that meeting on Saturday.
This Saturday
Yeah, at
at Jeff's.
11. Yeah.
What's happening this Saturday?
Yeah,
Oh,
right. Yeah, right.
No.
Now you do.
No, I was trying to remember what else is going on, but it's the parties that night.
That
It's
night.
on Friday.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's Friday.
Oh, it's on Friday now?
Had to change it.
Okay.
So the night
It's
before that.
Friday, 8 o'clock at Boston Pizza. Fucking dickheads. I called them to ask if I could change it to Friday. They didn't even have a reservation.
At the Queen's Buffet?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Man.
Because I don't speak Asian.
Just gotta know something.
Maybe they knew I was a racist.
All right, let's
All right,
do this.
Oh, nothing for you racist.
Let's do this last bit just to promote the next show.
Okay.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
Good.
Okay. Be sure to join us for our next event, our first show for 2012, XWA Addicted. You will see such matches like Barstool Bailey taking on Ryan Heath and Zane Valentine and El Hansamo. You'll see many other superstars like Johnny Versace, James Steele, and many more. I forgot something, didn't I, Jeff? Oh, I thought you
No, see, by you mentioning Zane makes me go, leaves out my, and the return of Zane Valentine.
You can emphasize, like, finally, Zane Valentine has the opportunity, etc., etc., etc.
Do you want to do the, actually, do you want to leave your mention of him returning out, and then I'll do it so we can have that
Why
line?
don't you just like, hey, there's a match you should definitely talk about. I was like, what's that? Zane Valentine's taking on El Hansamo.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Just the biggest thing about the Valentine match is
Yeah, he's fucking.
the whole point is he gonna fucking lose it? What's his test results gonna be?
Yeah.
Tune in next week.
Be sure to join us for our next event, our first show for 2012, XWA Addicted. You're going to see such matches like Barstool Bailey taking on Ryan Heath and many others. I'm going to do that again, just like I mentioned the plural like that. All right.
Yeah, Barstool Heath, then Steele and Versace, and then I'll cut you off and do the Hansmo
Okay.
thing.
Sure.
How's that sound?
Be sure to join us for our first event for 2012, XWA Addicted. We have one match that we want to announce right now, Barstool Bailey taking on Ryan Heath. You're also going to see superstars like James Steele and Johnny Versace.
And don't forget the return of Zane Valentine taking on El Hansamo.
Again, folks, that's XWA Addicted, January the 8th, live at Samuel de Champlain, 7:30 bell time.
Don't you dare miss it. I'm going to do it again to play up the what will his results be. Maybe you can cut me off when I'm doing the whole Hansamo thing. You're like, And we'll find out if
Okay.
he's passed wellness.
Alright. Be sure to join us, Victor. Be sure to join us for our next event, our first show for 2012, XWA Addicted. We want to announce this match right now. Barstool Bailey will taking on... Be sure to join us for our first event for 2012, XWA Addicted. We want to announce first our match... Be sure to join us for our first event for 2012, XWA Addicted. We want to announce our match for...
Just go with you'll be seeing.
I know.
You'll be seeing matches live.
Yeah, you'll be seeing that.
Because it's the first thing that's throwing me off, man.
Yeah.
So.
Be sure to join us for our first event for 2012, XWA Addicted. You're going to see matches like Barstool Bailey taking on Ryan Heath and superstars like Johnny Versace and James Steele.
And the return of Zane Valentine taking on El Handsimo.
And I really want to see what his result of his wellness test is.
Watch it, Gilbert.
Be sure to join us for XWA Addicted live January the 8th at Samuel de Champlain, 7:30 bell time.
Don't you dare miss it.
You're gonna miss it because it's on the 7th.
It's on the 7th.
Okay, that was the 8th.
You said the 8th.
Nope.
Or Coog said the 8th.
Could fucked it up.
Okay.
Who's got a calendar? Let's verify.
I'm doing it in there. Come on, you shitty fucking thing. December 7th. Yeah.
Okay.
January 7th.
Yeah.
It
That's the one.
It's January 7th? Okay. So we can just go do the, again, folks, that's XW Addicted. Actually, do that Watch It Gilbert thing.
Sure, no problem.
Watch it, Gilbert.
Oh, I thought, okay, you were
Then
doing
you go in.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, do one more time.
Yeah, I'll do one.
Thank you.
Watch it, Gilbert.
You guys will have to do the whole thing.
Sure, no problem. We can do that.
Alright.
Be sure to join us. Be sure to join us for XWA Addicted. Be sure to join us for XWA Addicted, our first show for 2012. You're going to see such matches like Barstool Bailey taking on Ryan Heath and superstars like James Steele and Johnny Versace.
And don't forget the return of Zane Valentine taking on El Handsimo.
Can I just add one thing about that little praise that you're giving there? I kind of hope that we'll find out the test result of Zane Valentine.
Watch it, Gilbert.
But again, folks, that's XWA Addicted live January 7th at Samuel de Champlain, 7:30 bell time.
Don't you dare miss it.
Any stuff that you want to